This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. All right, let's get into the All 22 film for this week. The good news is that Watson isn't as bad as he was in Washington. Still not some great stuff that you're seeing on tape here. I'm going to be honest here when it comes to Watson. I'm just going to have to make some realizations about what he can and cannot do and not grade him based on that, but judge the Browns offense based on how they're working around the limitations that Deshaun Watson clearly puts this offense in. Let's start here. He's not good at RPOs. So the RPO stuff, I don't know if we want to keep it. He's just not good at it. Right here, you can see RPO decision. You can tell it's an RPO. They're pulling a tackle into a gap here. I believe that's C gap. And probably should have let this one go to Foreman. Instead, he pulls it out. Again, this is RPO. The decision has to be quick. He pulls this out. He thought he had David Njoku there. Blankenship sees it, takes it out. I mean, there's no reason to think Blankenship wouldn't, right? Because if the read here is on Blankenship, the safety, which I imagine it is, I just don't know why you would keep this, right? Maybe the read here is on that wide 9 right there, the wide 9, the 9 tag here. And the read is, if he goes aggressively downfield, you take it. If that's the thing, then it's not great design. But even then, I don't see that it stops you from giving the ball off here. I mean, it's not going to be a big hitter, but you're going to get like 5 yards out that run. This you get nothing out of. So don't love that decision. Right here, great screen call. Kevin called a couple of really good screens, really had it dialed up. Great job by David Njoku sealing. And then you got 3 downfield. Great job there. All right, so good play call there. Number 3 here. What's the third play? Oh, yeah, this is snap count shit. All right, third play. Let's look at it. There you go. Just hit the open man. What is this concept here? Okay. Yep. Underneath. Good job staying in the pocket, not evading. And then Amari Cooper wide open. You see it, just throw it to him. Good job seeing it. Bad job by the Eagles defense. I don't know how that breaks free that easily. I mean, no resistance here to this. Basically gave it to him. What happens here? Okay, they end up with Cooper DeJean in the slot. Amari Cooper outruns him. I think Cooper DeJean thinks there's going to be somebody there on the other side of this boundary. Yeah, I think he's passing off to a zone. This is a bust. This is a coverage bust. All right. This one here, got to just throw the screen, right? You got Pierre Strong right there. You get what you want on the screen. They blitz. I don't know why he doesn't throw it. Maybe he thinks Pierre Strong's falling, but he's not. Got to throw the screen. Cannot take sacks on the screen. Cannot take a sack on the screen. That's right there. You got the blockers, at least 10 yards. Let's see it from the end zone angle real quick. Boom. By the time you're at the top, you got time to get that to Pierre Strong. You got to lead him a little bit, but it's fine. It's fine. You're supposed to lead him. Yeah. Got to throw that. Got to throw that. Can't take that sack there. I mean, where else are you going to go? This is another question I have here. Like, where else is he going to go? This is a screen. There's one option here. Like, were you going to run out of this? What are we doing? All right, another play here. Be honest here, it's been 6 weeks. Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson have not been able to figure out one choice route. Get rid of them. They can't do it. This is a choice route. Somebody thought somebody was going to do something else. They're on off different pages. Get rid of the damn choice routes. It ain't working. They cannot figure it out. Deshaun and Amari can't get on the same page. It's not even worth parsing out who's right whenever this goes down. There have been times where Amari Cooper's been wrong. There have been times where Deshaun's been wrong. For a team that cannot read defenses offensively, we really don't need to do this. This is not a layer of complexity we are ready for as an offense. Get rid of this shit. It's been 6 weeks. Can't do it. Can't keep doing it. Play 6 here. Possible tip ball. Don't really get a good angle on it. So can't really see if that was tipped. It looks tipped. Here. It's not a great decision because he's pretty well covered, but you're trying to get the ball to David. I'm not going to be upset if you're just trying to get David a one-on-one. All right, this play here. Okay, this is the near interception, right? Yeah. Good read. What he sees, safety hugging the seam. One high. You have a 9 on the strong side of the field. One-on-one. Take that shot. It's a good shot. Bad ball. This thing floats inside of him. I don't know why it goes that bad for him. Does he get hit in the middle of his follow through or something? Nah, by the time he gets touched, the ball's out. I just think he doesn't step into this properly. I think his feet are bad. 1, 2, drop, pop. Yeah, and he steps wide instead of stepping toward. See that wide step there? That's why this thing dies on him. And then his body's all behind him. It's just ugly mechanics here. Leads to an ugly ball. And if it weren't for this being so interceptable, it probably would have been intercepted. But the 2 DBs got in their way trying to catch it. Lucked out there. But yeah, this throw's bad because of the mechanics. Look at the feet here. Because he gets to 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, the drop's fine. The throw. Yeah, look how wide he is on his base. See that? It's a bit wide. Let me zoom in here for y'all so y'all can see it a little bit. It's not a powerful position to throw a football from, right? When you're this wide. Like he's almost horizontal with his feet. He's super open. Just gotta get your foot up there. You gotta really step into that one if you're gonna throw it. It's bad mechanics. All right. Let's see what we got here. Oh, we got A6-17. Empty. Good throw. Yep. So this is just a 6-1-7 concept. So on the front side, two quick slants on top of each other. Now, and it's just to get a ball out quickly. Basically, you're trying to hold this safety here, create a little window here. David creates that window. You get what you want. You throw this and you get on with the game. Just a basic, quick concept. And because it's David Njoku, he's capable of making it a little bit more. That's 6-1-7. Good job there. All right, right here, I mean, he sees Cooper DeJean. We just saw Coop get beat by Amari Cooper earlier here, right? They get him in the slot one-on-one. They have a little bit of a slot fade here. And they want to throw it to Cooper. I think he also thinks he's going to get a rub here because the linebacker comes down. That makes him throw it. This is a bit of a tell that DeSean has. Whenever he thinks he has that, he's going to throw it. And he just kind of sticks with his first read here. I think there was reason to get off, right? Once you get the slot fade and it doesn't look like Coop's biting on a press here, you could bet that he's probably going to keep up with Jeudy. So it's not going to be your best bet. You would want him to at least peek a little bit and see where his checks are. If he peaks, and maybe we're just expecting too much out of DeSean at this point. Not because DeSean shouldn't be this good, but because DeSean just simply isn't. I mean, David Njoku's wide open down here. That's definitely within a range of possible targets he could have tried to hit. It's not a horrible decision to throw this thing to Jeudy. It's just a low percentage decision, and the ball's not great either. All right, like this ball, just not a great ball placement here. If you're gonna take this chance, you got to give the wide receiver a better chance to convert. It's already low percentage enough as it is. Yeah, I just don't love that decision there. Or at least the process that ended in that decision. And the execution of it. It may actually add the decision's fine. Let me rephrase that. The decision's fine. It's just the execution I don't like. Because like he does have a bit of a step there on DeJean, but again, one, I think Jeudy could have did a better job of not getting pushed to this sideline. Cooper really does do a good job of getting him to the sideline. And then DeSean doesn't do a good job of helping him fight back in because this ball forces him more towards the sideline. And again, David Njoku is wide open. I see how he got there. Still don't love what happened. All right. Which play are we on now? All right, so we got a 91 concept here. This is what 91 Z post. It's ran out of a 2x2. It's pretty clever how the Browns get here, right? Because you're hearing me say it's ran out of a 2x2. But if you look at this, this is a 3x1. When I say 2x2, two wide receivers on each side. 3x1, three wide receivers, one wide receiver on that side, right? Just a lot, just telling you how many receivers are on each side of the field. This ends up being a 2x2 because David Njoku stays back to block, and Elijah Moore actually runs a route here. So it's a pretty clever way to kind of get yourself into 2x2 by showing a 3x2, by teasing David Njoku as a wide receiver. And obviously you can do that because David Njoku is a legitimate wide receiver threat. So it's not going to tip off an alarm bell to the defense if you have David Njoku standing up like that. So this is personnel that your personnel allows you to get away with a trick like this, right? But this is basically 91. 91 is a pretty simple concept. It's kind of like drive, except for the drag is coming from the other side of the field. So I believe Elijah Moore is running the drag here. Jerry Jeudy is running the dig. Amari Cooper is running what seems to be like a choice here. So he can either dig this up into a 9 or break this off into a post if he wants to. And then Cedric Tillman is running a 9 to clear out. This is called 91. Well, actually, no, my bad. Cedric Tillman is actually running a post here. So this is 91 concept. This is what the Browns are running on this play. Here's what I think happens. Well, let me show you what happens, and then I'll play and tell you what I think happened here. I want to taint you. You see here, he checks into it, ends up effectively being a 2x2. All right, so a number of things happen on this play. One, you got to check the down and distance, right? We're in 3rd and long. This is 3rd and 11. Because it's 3rd and 11, instead of this under with this drag being ran like a drag would normally in this concept, where you kind of scrape the back of the defensive line and then you run this dig over it to create a high-low situation. And then these kind of just clear defenders out. Again, Amari Cooper, you got a choice here, 9 or here, depending on what happens in front of you. But since the down and distance is a bit funky now because we're in 3rd and 11, Elijah Moore runs this one a little bit closer to the sticks, which means 2 things. 1, this is going to take longer to develop. And 2, it kind of changes what the read here is on this concept. Because if Elijah Moore is running this shallow, he's the first read. This is the second read. You want to see if they choose high or low. They choose high, take the drag, get to 6 yards, move the game. If they take low and they try to stop that, you could take the dig and get the first down. It's a high-low concept. It's pretty basic. But since this drag is being ran to the sticks, at least closer to the sticks, and this dig is being ran at the same depth, this changes the read to me. I would go 1 and then 2, right? Because you have this choice route. The reason I would go 1, then 2 is because this is going to be on time. That's a clock. This one is not, because look at the distance that each player has to cover. Let's see where each player cuts and where they end up by the time this ball is ready to get thrown, to prove the point, right? Also, they leave middle field open. Another thing to point out, right? Middle field open. What does middle field open mean? Basically, they're showing you that at least pre-snap, middle field's open. You got to confirm with your eyes that it's actually middle field open, because a lot of teams, when they're trying to mug a gap or something like that, they'll drop somebody back into a zone and it's not actually middle field open. But this is middle field open pre-snap. So, again, another reason Jeudy should probably be the first read. But back to the whole thing I'm saying about the timing of this, because he's running this route closer to the sticks. Look how much more ground Elijah Moore has to carry. Judy's already cutting past his guy. Elijah Moore doesn't cut until Judy's almost done with his route. So you can't have your eyes waiting for Elijah Moore here. It's just going to take too long to develop. They're showing blitz. They're showing middle field open. The first read here should be Jeudy on this. And then you should watch Coop on this choice. right? If you see something that pops this open, some kind of contact, something that opens up, then you throw this to Coop. So you go 1, 2. You just do a quick check on the 2, and then this should be your check down because it's going to take the longest to develop. Well, let me clear the screen here for you guys. Instead, what I think happens here is that Watson goes to Coop first. His eyes go to Coop first, right? Boom, immediately on Coop. See right there? Immediately on Coop. The reason they're on Coop is because he's hoping that Darius Slay and Cooper DeJean get a collision here. They don't. They do a good job of avoiding that. The Eagles do a good job of that right now, or did a good job of that in this game. They avoid it. So now that's not open. He steps up. Now he wants to go back to the dig. The pressure's too heavy. I don't understand Coop being the first read on a blitz when middle field's open. I don't understand that being the first place the quarterback has their eyes on from a pre-snap picture standpoint, from what the play call was. His eyes just shouldn't be there. I think he got caught being greedy. His eyes shouldn't have been there. You just get the ball to Jerry Jeudy. Because you see right here, if you just run the play, Jerry Jeudy's open. There's a window. That's a first down. Move the game along. So that was one missed opportunity. Here's another missed opportunity by Watson. He's got to peek at this will. And the reason he's got to peek at this will, I mean, look what you see pre-snap in the picture, right? What you see pre-snap in this picture is Ed Blankenship deep, right? We're talking 10, almost 15 yards past the line of scrimmage. He's deep. You have a wheel route. Not this route, but you have a wheel route right here. This is a wheel. You have it on this play. Now, what you need to do is just keep an eye on what this situation is. I would watch the release because you have it there. Do the play action, you check the release, and you see where that corner is. You got to peek there. By the time you get back up, eyes up, the game's already given away, right? He's covering a zone. This is all free space right here. I mean, all free space right here. He's still backpedaling, too. That safety's still backpedaling. So you got to hit this window. You got to peek at the wheel. And then if the wheel's not there, you got all the time in the world to throw this check down, man. Look how off they're playing. You don't have to get to this check down quick. But look at that space there, man. It's going to be the biggest play of Jaden Darlin's like NFL career if you throw it. Instead, we threw the check down there. There was no need to rush to it, right? Again, just peek at it. Just peek at it. That's all you want him to do is peek at it. He doesn't even peek at it. It's immediate. I'm not asking him to have his eyes fixated on it. Just want him to peek at it. That's it. Just give a good peek. You get exactly what you want here. Got to peek at it. It's there for a reason. It's not just there to clear people out. It's there for a reason. Got to take it. I'm pretty sure they told him that when he looked at the iPad. All right, let's look at the next play. Okay, I don't love this play call. I mean, it's technically there. I don't love it. They got a deep comeback here running for Elijah Moore. That's where the ball is supposed to go. All of this just develops too long for an offensive line that's struggling. Right? You do the play action. This just develops too long. The throw that Watson can make here is a throw that I don't really trust him to throw because he's not that good. It's this deep comeback. You're asking him to throw from this hash here with speed, like with the anticipation. He doesn't do that consistently. I don't like putting him in a position to do that. He's not that good. You can't do it. And then you give him nothing short to quick to dump this off to on the left side. Like I don't love it. The Browns run this shit so much too. I don't love it. Like, yeah, could Watson have executed better in a perfect world? Sure. Like the throw is there to be made, but that's just not a move he's capable of in 2024. Does do a good job of getting a couple extra yards on this run. Good fake there to N'Kobe Dean. Good job there. But don't love that play call. Don't love this play call either. Obviously the worst one of the game, right? I think what they were thinking was Brandon Graham is so big now. Oh my God, he's so chubby. We can beat him to this spot, right? They were thinking they were going to beat Brandon Graham to this spot. And if you beat Brandon Graham to this spot, you do have a big play here. But unfortunately, Brandon Graham beats you to this spot, and he looked like an idiot. It's one of those things where you look like a genius if you get it right. You look like an idiot if you get it wrong. But here's why you look like an idiot no matter what happens in this play call. There was no reason for this deception here. Like, look what you get the look you want. They only have 3 guys in on the line of scrimmage. You get the exact look you want here to get this first down. Because all Jameis has to do is slide into the B gap. Like, wait, slide. Nobody's going to be there. First down. If you run the sneak. But you got caught trying to see something on film or take advantage of it, and you look stupid. And yeah, you probably should have. That was not a good call. You had the chance to look like a genius if you could have beat Brandon Graham to this spot, but I mean, I think you were just asking too much. Bad play call. All right. Another one here. Watson's got to throw it. You're in empty. Look at the situation you're in. Backed up on your own end zone. You get Coop here. I mean, we know which route. We know exactly what Coop wants here, right? Coop is going to run this slant. He does it a million times. They actually do it successfully later in the game. But he runs this slant kind of tall because he wants you to throw this ball up towards the numbers. They're going to bring this corner up here to take care of this. You're going to run Coop right behind that. There's a little pocket. You slip it in there. We've seen every quarterback who's ever thrown the ball to Amari Cooper make this throw. We've seen Deshaun do it, right? You see Cooper set up for it, give him the ball on the numbers, lead him upfield. You got it. And Deshaun Watson decides to not let it off for whatever reason. I think he feels this pressure coming backside, but yeah, it's a free run, but it's also a DB. You should be able to get that off. You got to get that off. Got to throw that. Right? You know what this is. You can throw that with anticipation. Every quarterback who's ever thrown the ball to Amari Cooper has thrown that ball with anticipation to Amari Cooper. You do it later in this game. Got to throw it. Can't risk not throwing it in that situation. Because, like, look at the disaster this could have been. Can't do that. Can't make that mistake. Let's get to this. All right. This is a great play call. Screen. They blitz on it. You get everything you want. Pretty much one-on-one. Boom. Great play call. Pierre Strong did a great job on this drive, by the way. It's like another run for Pierre Strong here. Like he did a great job on this drive. I think he was responsible for like more than half of the yardage on it. And this was one of the few Browns scoring drives in this game. So hats off to Pierre. I give him a lot of flack, but he played really well in this game. Really well in this game. Do I got another Pierre Strong play? I think I do. Let me just go to that real quick. Because he finishes this run with a lot of strength. Look at the strength he finishes this run with. right here. Good cut up, strong. And look, takes a hell of a lick, but still ends strong there. Really like what Pierre Strong did in this one. Good game by Pierre. All right, let's get back to the rest of this stuff. What's this one right here? I think this is this is the 92. Yep, this is 92. All right, 92. You get a mesh with an over. It's called 92. And this hits. The concept works here against what you want it to work against. 68, Michael Dunn, the third string center, just gets blown up here, and it kind of blows up the whole play. All right. That's unfortunate because it's there. You can see the linebackers are flat. I mean, Amore and Cooper end up wide open. This is a big play here if you can get this blocked up a little bit better. Watson doesn't create this one. He's in the pocket. He's staying still, staying within his depth. Really gives this until the last second to step up, which is good. Yeah, Watson's pocket mechanics here aren't the problem. And Michael Dunn just gets beat. And then he holds for good measure. And that ends up being a pain in the ass that he held because Deshaun gets his big run, but it gets nullified because of the hold. Bad rep by Michael Dunn. It's hard to be too harsh on him because he is the third string center. He's out of position. Be kind of an asshole if I'm blaming the whole game on this dude who's not supposed to be playing center in his first game back too since coming off PUP. Well, first game playing since coming off PUP. It's just unfortunate. It's a bad rep though. And there's a couple more things where you could just see Mike Dunn just had a bad day because he was put out of position. Unfortunately for him. Right. And unfortunately for Nick Harris, too, that's super unfortunate for him. All right. This is why I felt like Watson's best play and throw of the day came under center out of play action. This is Stefanski staple right here. Linebacker gives away. Nakobe Dean gives away that he's in man, which means he's not about to do a damn thing about this cross. Bam. Hit him. Staple. It's a Kevin Stefanski West Coast offense staple right there. Great job. All right, so this is the deep ball to Coop. Coop got a face mask on. I don't really have a problem with the decision here. I think the decision is fine. Again, it's something we saw earlier. They end up in a one high look. The safety starts hugging the seam. You get one-on-one with Amari Cooper. You throw him this ball. I don't mind the decision here. The ball's not great, though. This is a badly placed ball. That's the problem with that. Right here, look where this ball lands. Yeah, I just don't know how Coop's supposed to get to that ball. Right, Coop could do a better job not getting ran to the sideline. He could have ran a better route for sure. But this ball just ain't it right there. This ain't it. End of the day, it doesn't end up mattering because Coop held his face mask, so he made the big mistake. But yeah, this ball just short. It's the second time he did that. Let's see what his base looks like. Where did he throw this from? Nah, he wasn't even super wide on that one. His follow-through is a bit funky, right? Because he's following through with his chest high, but it's just a badly placed ball. I don't think the mechanics are the problem on that one. We could look at it from the wide. Yeah, the mechanics aren't the problem here. That's just a bad ball. It just dies on him. Next one here, great play call and design. I love this design, actually. They had the little fake run, and then they keep Cedric Tillman into block, which holds a section of the field here, right? You see that linebacker who's supposed to be watching Deontay Foreman. He's not really paying attention because his man was Cedric Tillman, so he's holding because he sees him blocking. And then boom, open space, big play there. and get you into space to get this third down conversion. Great play call, great design there. Love that design. They're getting a little bit interesting with these designs though. I don't hate the design of this offense. All right. This one right here. I mean, this is the money route for Coop, right? This is exactly what we were talking about earlier, that you just got to throw it. Yeah, this is the money route for Coop. He does this. Okay, and then what's here? Oh, is this the RPO? This ugly ass, funky RPO. I don't know what this is. I have to believe it's an RPO because I see the center get to the second level. So either they're doing run action or it's an RPO. I think it's an RPO. Either way, it's a ugly, ugly RPO. First of all, like the spacing's just so off, right? Just look at how all of these guys have to work to not collide with each other, and it slows their momentum down, right? Oof, right? He bumps into Watson, and then he ends up getting into Elijah Moore's physical space here. Yeah, the design of this or the execution of this is off. Either Elijah Moore is supposed to wait until the mesh is created to start running, so the running back can either clear and run and he can potentially block, or yeah, this is just funky design here. Well, not design, but funky execution. Don't love it. So the design of this or the execution of this is just bad. Look at that mesh point. It's just ugly. This actually tips off the safety here. It's so nasty. He sees it coming. He's like, oh, okay. They're trying to run him to the flat. Let me crash down there. So Reed Blankenship, who had a hell of a game today, just sniffs this one out because of that. So there's that. I mean, if Reed Blankenship is not there, that does score. But Reed Blankenship is there. Also a big question of like, should you just ran it? Because you get the center to the second level. I mean, yeah, that would have been a pretty positive play there too. But yeah, gotta run these cleaner. Gotta run these cleaner. And yeah, we just gotta run these cleaner. I don't think Watson's good at RPOs. I'm gonna just put that one out there. I think we should probably. I know why the fascination was there for Watson in these RPOs. I just don't know if it's something he can execute. All right. So this is Maserati, very famous Kevin Stefanski play. You pull your guards, you run behind them, and the quarterback has the option of taking this wide or shooting through this gap that they're going to create, or at least this alley that they're trying to create here. This is called Maserati. Don't know why it's called Maserati, but we know for a fact that this play call is called Maserati. What happens here, Jalen Carter keeps Conklin from releasing, and that allows N'Kobe Dean to blow up the D gap, the alley that they're creating in the D gap here. So let's go back so we can demonstrate this. So Jalen Carter holds up, I believe, these two pretty well, which allows this man to run free, N'Kobe Dean. Let's hit the play button. Yep, see? Holds up 84, Jeff Swain and Jack Conklin, which means 17's free, which means the alley's blown up here. Because what they wanted to do and what they would have been able to do if Conk was able to get free here is create this alley, shoot up this alley, get to the touchdown. Instead, you got to string it out wide, and they catch Watson. All right, you see how Watson has to cut back wide? Yep. Okay, let's look at some stuff involving the snap count because that was a bit funky in this game, right? We're going to look at, I believe, 5 plays with the snap count just to kind of get an idea of what was going on. So for first to get an idea of what's going on, you have to know what the Browns are doing. The Browns are doing in this game what's called a silent count. I'm not even going to try to spell that there. Silent count. Because it's just hard to do on the mouse and write all that. A silent count is basically something you do on the road when you expect a loud environment and you don't expect to hear your quarterback give the cadence. So you got to give the cadence differently. The Browns silent count is this. Joe Bitonio, if they're in shotgun, will look back at Deshaun. He's going to wait for Deshaun to kick his leg up, right? Once Deshaun kicks his leg up, Joe Bitonio gets set, taps the center. The center gives a head nod, and then about a second or a quarter second later, the ball is out. That is how the snap works for the Browns. That is how a silent count works. Yes, this was the same thing the Browns were doing in 2018. It's the same thing the Browns did in 2020. It's the same thing the Browns did last year. This is what a silent count looks like. It's not specific to any coach. This is just a silent count. So that's what the Browns are doing. Joel sees the knee kick up, tap, ball should come out. So let's just look at a play where they execute this normally, right? Knee kick up, tap, ball out. See? Ball out. That's it. I think the knee came out earlier in that clip. But here, knee, ball, snap. Sometimes Michael Dunn is having to look underneath him for the knee kick up and then the snap. But the knee kicking up is the quarterback saying, I am ready for the ball. I have done everything I need to do pre-snap. So right here, this is, I believe, a false start. You get the knee. That's the all go from Deshaun. It's just one knee. All go. Okay. Tap on the hip. Head nod. Hold on. He checked to something, right? He checked to something. Okay. Nope. All right. False start. I think Jed jumped here. And I think this is on Michael Dunn because Jed jumped. Because Michael Dunn should have just snapped this ball when he should have snapped it. Right? Get the knee. Tap. Ball should be out. Instead, Jed. Yeah. And I think Jed reacted to the head nod, not being used to it, right? He nods his head, then Jed jumps. He thinks the ball's being snapped. Got to be consistent if you're going to be the center snapping the ball because Jed's relying on consistency here, right? Like the tackles are relying on that consistency here. And it throws him off. Yes, Jed has to do a better job of watching the ball, but he's kind of in a spot where he has to rely on it. All right, second thing with the snap count here. Defense started paying attention to it, obviously. And they started trying to time the silent count, which is pretty normal, right? You see Joe taps, they go. They're trying to time it. Oh, God, Pierre Strong got blew up there. That's something to keep in mind. They're trying to time it now. All right. Let's go to the next one. This right here, what happens if you need to make a check? This is what happens if you need to make a check. All right. So, again, see Joel's watching. Deshaun makes a check here, but let's go back to the beginning. Joel's watching for the kick. You get the leg kick. And then Deshaun goes, oh, kill, kill, kill. I'm watching again. Stand up. Set. All right, all right. Get ready. Get down. Tap. Snap the ball. Snap the ball. Right? He doesn't snap the ball. It's a delay of game. That is another side effect of just having your backup center in there. Right? Joe restarts the snap. Michael Dunn forgets to snap the ball. Or thinks that he's waiting on something to snap the ball. It's a miscue there. All right. This one was just a rookie mistake. We're talking about the end of the game here. Zach Zinter makes the rookie mistake of paying attention. Stuff ain't got nothing to do with him. Where's Zinter? Right here. He reacts to movement over here. That's why we get the false start here. That's not on Michael Dunn. That's on Zinter. Yeah, we watch it. It's super slight, but yeah, right there. Right? 93 moves, switches his hand. He's allowed to do that. But Zinter moves. Zinter makes that abrupt movement there. It's super slight, but it is there. See? It's an abrupt movement. They're going to call that every time. This is the one the Browns tried to argue. He was induced to doing that, but it's too far away from him to get away with that argument. And it's not in the neutral zone. All right, let's go to the last one. My theory here is I think Joe Bitonio messed this one up. Because, again, we've seen the snap. It is look for the knee, tap the center, snap the ball. And it has a very specific timing to it, which is important. So Jed jumps off sides here. Why does Jed jump off sides? Well, let's look at it. What goes wrong in the snap here? Okay, Joe looking for the snap, get the leg kick, and then what happens here? That's a little different. That took a little bit longer. And again, timing's key. Got to be consistent. Think Joe caught himself trying to time this up so they didn't get this blitz with the run to start. But if that's what you're trying to do, you got to tell somebody. And instead, Jed's thinking, all right, this ball's coming out. He jumps. Jed trying to get that extra step, knowing the blitz is coming. Got to make sure you're consistent because this just took too long. Small as hell. I mean, we've seen him all game. Quick tap. This, slow tap. Why? Yeah, and look, it's hard to tell who specifically to blame. All I can do is point out is that the Brown snap had worked one way all game, and it was Joel who did something different with the snap, and that snap resulted in a false start. Yes, technically, Jed should be looking at the ball, or at least be watching the ball. It might have been communicated that Jed can't see the ball, or that there's been some kind of issue with him going off the ball, and that it really needs to be on time. And if that's the case, then that is Joe Bitonio's fault. I don't know. There's a million different ways it can shake out. All I'm saying is that the thing that was clearly different on this count that created a false start was caused by Joe Bitonio because he didn't do the snap with the regular cadence that the snap had been going off of. If this were a quarterback and this weren't a silent count and the quarterback was doing an audible count and he did the count differently and there was a false start, we usually blame the quarterback. In this situation, Joe's kind of the quarterback. So he kind of fucked up the snap, in my opinion. That's it. That is the film breakdown for this week. I think the positives in this one, I think the run game looked a lot stronger. I think there's some real hope that the run game can carry this offense. When it comes to the passing game, it is what it is. We just have to make some assumptions about what our quarterback can and can't do and work around it. He's a one-read quarterback. He's not somebody who's going to be able to read the whole field or execute some of these complex passing concepts that we want to run. You just got to keep it simple for him. I think if you keep it simple, make him throw less than like 25 times a game, I think you can really put something together that can be functional at least, because the Browns are so far away from functional. And then try to build off that and get somewhere better. But if I'm the Browns, I'm just treating it like we got a rookie out there. And then, most of the stuff that happened with like the false start stuff, it was just a result of Michael Dunn being forced to play center when he's not a center. And it had obvious consequences. So injuries getting you there. There is some hope offensively, I think, when it comes to the run game here. And I think that's the best thing about what this week's game is that, you can have some faith in the run game. There's some good stuff that they're showing. And then with Nick Chubb back, the potential gets even better with that. That's my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. You have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.